Hey everybody, how's it? Okay, number 3 for Metal Monday today because I was in such a good mood. But for the rest of this week, I'm really going to be drifting. I'm going to be doing some roots, like I said in the last video, some roots, some pop, some very kind of metally jazz, all kinds of crazy stuff. This is that week where I'm feeling like I'm going in all directions, and it ain't no April Fool's joke. Alien Weaponry, Tangata. Tangata, that's the name of the song from Napalm Records. And you know what? I gotta find a better way. Maybe you people who are good with the software stuff or whatever, if there's some way where I can put these songs and better stack them, because you know what? I realized this was asked for all the way back at the end of December, and then I kept on getting a couple of, and it just, if you guys only saw the size of the list, it's absolutely crazy. But it's nice, it's really enlightening, because I'm learning on this journey, man. Like I've said so many times before, this is you and I doing this together, because I'm just pulling them up, first time listen, and then I break it down like the old composer should. Hence the Decomposer's Lounge. Thank you guys so much for your support. Any videos that I do on you know, these React videos, if they run advertising, that's because they do copyright claim. None of that advertising money comes into the channel. So if you want to support the channel, you can go ahead and buy me a cup of coffee. That link will be down there if you'd like. Also, the link for Alien Weaponry will be down there for their merch, for their music. I always support the band, the music, the publishers, record companies. Everybody deserves to make a couple bucks. And also the link for my AKG 240s. People still leaving a couple messages asking what they're all about. And so that link will be down there as well. Okie doke. Alien Weaponry, Tangata. All right. Wow, this is really, really super cool. Totally caught off guard. But at the same token, you know, the universe works in a very weird way, because that last video that I did, or the first one this morning, Enslaved, I had mentioned about, well, I kind of called it a cultural metal and stuff. Well, it's really cultural influenced metal. And I'll get to the musicians and what I'm hearing in just a second, but the unique thing about this is that living here in Hawaii, we are very well, you know, educated and versed about a lot of island nations and the effects of different, cultures. And actually, I believe the Maori here, everybody here has experienced this culture's the haka. I believe I could be wrong. I mean, I am getting old and bobo, but we've also seen other Polynesian or island culture, celebrities and stuff do the haka and stuff like that, which is you see it in rugby, when they do what's very familiar here. Now, as I turn that into drifting into the performance here, first, just up front, obviously this is just a very powerful metal riff, and they settle into it. And I try not to watch the video, but then I'm realizing that they're staying really super consistent, kind of like a war march vibe or call to action. The riff is really super cool. They open up really fast in double time. Well, unless if this is the rhythm, and that kind of double time, and then they drop into halftime. It depends on what the rhythm actually started off as. If it wasn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, whatever. I like how they turned it around and went into halftime into when they were doing the verse. I love the drummer's approach on this. Mixes of drums are very different based on engineers, the producers, and the band members. No, more and more and more as I get older, realizing that band members have a lot more influence, I guess, actually on production. But I like his performance in the sense there's a lot of times when he finishes up fills or he does accents, they're not your always atypical crashing on a cymbal and stuff. Ding, hitting the bell and stuff like that. That's a very cool nuance that I dig about the many different things drummers can serve up when it comes to turning around a fill. Then the vocals come in, and obviously it's not English, and the tonality and the cadence and the pronunciation of these words are very powerful in this performance, because it looks like a war chant. Okay, so we can't get away from the fact that the video is influencing, but and that is that complete power. If you've ever seen a Maori war chant, I don't know exactly what the name of it is, folks, please help me out. It is exactly what it is. That tonal, when you see them perform it and stuff in when they do it at sports events and a team comes and they do that performance. Another thing that I really dialed right into, as soon as the harmonies came in, very cultural sounding harmonies. When like Samoans and Tongans and Hawaiian and all, there's very unique harmonies that are embedded in cultural music. And that's from around the world. It could be in India, Africa, Norwegian, whatever. They're unique harmonies and stuff, and that is so apparent in this, and I really super dig that. So anyhow, let's move on. All right. Okay, I want to stop here. It looks like there's going to be a big change coming up here in production. Something else I want to bring up briefly as well. You saw me doing this with the ride. You know, if you're a drummer or if you are writing and arranging and composing for drums and stuff like that, and you have drumming knowledge because you were either a drummer at one time, like me. I mean, I played when I was younger, but I can't say I'm a drummer now. It's been 30 years since I picked up sticks. There are just certain things that are just super cool about keeping the straight going on here. This is this is pretty much a very straightforward power metal kind of grind that's going on here. But that thing where he's holding the drummer's holding the and on the bells, you know, that's just always been a cool thing. I've always dug that. I've always dug when drummers, whether sometimes they'll use it on a smaller cymbal, they'll do it and whatever. But that kind of ride thing, you know, real super powerful. And then the other thing is too is that, you know, as I was listening, there's parts of this are chant oriented, and you know, I don't, you know, I want to stick to this being music, but I don't know if you've seen sometimes that where they videos on YouTube where they perform the haka or a particular chant like at a wedding or certain things or the passing of people, and it's such a visceral, soulful, powerful pull from the universe through the soul. You almost feel like at moments you are so connected with it. And I yammer on a bit only because, you know, I've been around here in Hawaii, you know, pretty much most of my whole life. And, you know, whenever I see chants that come in, whether it's here from Kanaka Maoli or the haka or other cultural chants from around the world, actually, it's just like that last bit of ancestral pull that's left amongst us for all the continents, all the Aboriginal people and stuff like that. And you put it into music like that, and you put it into music like this. It's like a lightning bolt of vibe, if you would, that you feel through this, you know. And so. Anyhow, I thought I was going to do a short break, but I can't. It just really pulls at me really well, especially when I'm watching the video. I'm trying not to watch the video so I can do this, but I just need to lay that out there. I just think that that's, you know, some of the bands that I've listened to, you know, from each continent that have cultural influences, and I hear that there are chants, you know, there's some Viking-based music that I've been listening to on this channel and other things. It's just like, it's like the last way that we can call to any type of ancestral powers to keep, you know, a divine mission moving forward for the culture. Anyhow, I just turned this into National Geographic, didn't I? I'm sorry, I'm so not qualified for that. I'm sorry, I'm just being human that way. That's just the way I feel about it, heck, you know. Here we go. Okay, before I let this get too far, the same kind of breakdown where it was just kind of setting up for this last power passage, I heard it like, the older I get, the better I was, jeez. You know, some kind of, and it kind of, and I know that that's kind of, I don't know where I know this from, where you spin it around and it makes this sound. Now, I didn't know if it was a form of communication or something, and I can't remember where I learned that, but whatever that was, and if you guys know, if anybody from the band or fans of the band had deeper knowledge about it, if that was that thing that it was a rope that with like some very unique design wood or something that spins and makes this kind of. That's what it sounded like to me. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do 3 a day anymore. Man, that was just so heavy. It was great. It was a great performance by the band. I definitely am going to be looking into more of their music and stuff. And just for me, I'm listening to the music, but at the same token, I'm replaying just this thing about hundreds, if not thousands of years, us human beings. You know, that was life. That was the way life was, and it was raw, it was visceral, it was protective. You know, it was a very powerful and very heavy way to live. Now, once again, I'm not going to go National Geographic. I'm just saying when I see new music, meaning in the last 30 years, let's say, and they incorporate the stories of culture in it. There was another one that I did earlier. I think they were Scandinavian or Sweden or Honduran or something, and different kind of music. It wasn't metal, but it was very cultural. And I just think that every now and then, we need to be woke about just what we've plowed through as humans to bring us here, and the fact that music is a very big part of that storytelling. That integrating stories into music. It's been happening for, tons of years, integrating cultural stories into music, cultural stories into plays and musicals and stuff. And it was just a pleasure to watch this. It really was. And my culture, I couldn't be any further away from the Polynesian Triangle or anything, being, Spanish, Italian, kind of guy. I got my own, cultural stuff going on there, but when I'm exposed to creative comboing of culture and metal and music, or it doesn't have to be metal, it could be in any music, I just think that it's such a symbiotic but powerful messaging device, celebrating music and culture at the same time. Anyhow, I really went weird on this. I think it just pulled for me. I want to thank those of you who waited on me to get into Alien Weaponry and this song, and I'm pretty stoked I did this. I really am. It's not in a kind of I just grew a foot kind of way, but I'm just saying it was just really nice to go through the experience. Anyhow, that's it for tonight. I'm done. And thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the support. If you so see fit, thank you so much for the cup of coffee. Help supports me in the channel and what I do with the kids. And that link is down there too if you want to see. And I also have some merch. 100% of that goes, actually 100% of the proceeds of that also goes to the kids as well. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Once again, I'm reiterating, the rest of this week I'm going to drift. All right, I'm going to kind of skip a little away from the metal and the rock and get into some very unique and different sounding types of music, just to expand the palette of the soundtrack of our life. All right. All right.